Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. This is a Night of the Seven Kingdoms recap of episode 5. Okay. We are here to bring it all together for you. We have some history for you today. And Lord Trey Snow has come in with a new outfit.
We are ready for battle today.
Can you see?
I feel like Sir Duncan. No. Especially sitting down. I can't even lie. Woo! Oh, Lord. Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Oh my word. I said, y'all, I was in the back and I didn't even see it. I had now seen it. I told him I wasn't ready, and I daggone show was not ready for this entire get up. Hey,
Yes, my lady.
Sam loves it.
My lady. We are here. We are back. We are ready for combat.
Okay. Well, the rest of the
of
fans
this.
go.
Woo! Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Enough of that bullshit. I need a squire. I'm telling you, I need a squire. Man, getting this on. Woo-hoo.
Oh, absence, yes.
Yes. I was looking at them. Especially sitting down. Standing up is not a problem, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Standing up is not a problem. Everything sits right. I can see out. But sitting down, woo, man.
What about sitting on a horse that's moving?
Well, it's not as bad. There's a locking mechanism right here. So when you actually sit correctly for battle, it actually works. It's sitting down just for leisure. This is not made for leisure. This is made for combat.
Okay. Well, let's get the combat going. Dunk side, okay. Let's get I have some visuals for y'all. I have some visuals. Yeah, Dunk went through it. We got it for you. We got some stuff for y'all, okay? So here it is. This is to remind you, I'm taking comments off. This is side versus side. The accusers, Arian's team versus Dunk's team, okay? Arian has himself, his father Makor, his brother Daron. Then we have Stefan Fossaway, the traitor. We have Roland Craig Hall. We have Donnell Dunksdale and William Wild. Okay, this is a far shot of what the other Kingsguard look like on the screen. The accused, Dunk the Tall, Baylor, Lionel Baratheon, Raymond Fossaway, a newly knighted, okay, a new knight, okay, Robin Riesling, Humphrey, and Humphrey Harding and Humphrey Beesbury. Now, here's what I also have for y'all, okay, because y'all know we like a good old fashioned. Here, I have a map for y'all, okay? So we're gonna do this right. I have a map on the left is definitely the Starks, okay? That is north of all this foolishness. And I have the names in there. This is in the green area. This whole Ashford is in the Reach. It's in the green area. High Garden is within this entire area. So I wanted y'all to know who from Dunk side, where they're from. So the Fossaways are from the Reach, Beesbury, Riesling, they're all from the Reach. So they didn't have to come from far. And I have Ashford in red because he is the host of this in the Reach. You see Lionel's name to the right under the stag. Remember, he is House Baratheon. Then we have Baylor above that. That is the, King's Landing area.
Crown lands.
And then,
the Crown lands is what they call
the Crown lands. Mm-hmm. Then we have, Harding. He's from the Vale. I forgot he was from the Vale until I really went and researched where everybody was coming from. So
he
this
had to travel
just,
a little bit.
Yeah, he had to travel quite a distance. Okay, he had to.
he probably was coming to visit his sister and brother-in-law, and they,
Probably.
hey, you want to come to this melee? So and so gonna be there. Oh, why not?
Right. It's like we could go up, brother-in-law versus brother-in-law, because the whole jousting thing, it was supposed to be fun. It's the daughter's name day. It gets to two birds, visits his family, and he get a little jousting, maybe win a little purse or so and go back home. Okay. But Flea Bottom is not on the map. It's in King's Landing. It's under
Yeah,
Baylor's name. But I just
yeah.
wanted y'all to see that most of these people didn't travel from too far. Okay. And this is why the Targaryens could come with such a force, because King's Landing, the whole area in Orange, isn't that far from the Reach. Okay. I just wanted y'all to be able to see where folks are coming from. But this is how Dunk's group, they are lined up in a circle talking like the Faith of the Seven. Okay. Baelor is giving instructions. Okay. Baelor is giving them instructions. And his instructions are that they remain on horse and in formation. While he's saying this, Raymond and Dunk do chuck their guts.
Ugh.
Someone calls Raymond the Green Boy. Who was that? I couldn't remember who called Raymond the Green
That
Boy.
was Humphrey Beesbury, actually.
Oh, okay. And the orange mustache guy is Beesbury. Okay, the beehives are on his chest, and he asks, "What of the king's god?" Okay, now
Oh,
we
Humphrey
don't know if
Hart
he
is
was.
my mistake.
Yeah, we
Humphrey
don't
Hart is
know.
the one who made the statement. Beesbury, yeah.
Yeah, Beesbury asked about the king's guard. And Bela said he'll handle the king's guard because their oath is not to harm anyone who's part of the royal family. So I'm like, Baylor's gonna handle three king's guard knights. Okay. But
Yeah,
Riesling asks, go ahead.
yeah, it was interesting, but I can see why. Most of all he had to do was really just stand in their way, and you get behind him, they really can't pass him. So
Right.
getting in that position though is going to be the challenge.
Hey, Jaguar. Yes. The thing is, Riesling asks, is that honorable, Your Grace? Remember, Riesling is the one with the patch over his eye. He lost his eye in a joust, some time ago. And Egg, saw him in the field. Okay, y'all remember that? An episode
Mhm.
or so ago. And Bela said the gods will let us know if this is good or not.
Which is interesting. That was interesting because let's just get into it. That's a slight change from the book. It's actually Lionel is the one that asked Baylor, and he asked it differently. He asked Baylor, "My lord, is that chivalrous? Is that chivalrous?" Which is a slightly different statement, but they had
Right.
Ronald asked the question, and then Lionel came with a whole weird cryptic statement, which I
Oh, we get
got,
into
but
that.
it was like, okay.
Lionel said, Mother loved you best. None fight so fierce as one neglected by his mother. And what he was trying to say, from what I gathered, is that your brother over there, Malor, and his children who are neglected by their mothers, they're going to fight more fierce than you. You have been coddled. That's what I took it as. You ain't fighting that hard, fighting for a mother's love and everything else in your life. You firstborn son, you about to be king. You ain't gonna be fighting as hard as everybody over there. Trey, are you frozen? Trey, I think you're frozen. Yes, it was shady. It was shady. It was definitely shady. We'll see. Trey gonna come back in his armor. Okay. But when they go on, basically in that vein, I'm thinking that Lionel is talking about, you were your mother's favorite when he's talking to Baylor. Again, If you're your mother's favorite, you are raised in a certain way. You're not really raised with that fire in your belly, is what I think Lionel is really trying to say. Okay. So the herald comes out. The herald comes out and says, "May the seven bear witness to this solemn bloody offering." Okay. Trey's coming back up. Okay, you're back up.
I'm back. That was weird.
Okay. Lionel always had something to say. I like him because he's about his business. Yep. But the herald says, "May the seven bear witness to the solemn and bloody offering. May they peer inside our hearts and find the truth. May the warrior grant victory to the innocent and reveal the guilty in their falseness, and may death sustain life." Now, y'all, this is where we're going to get into the faith. Okay. This is this is one of the photos I gathered online for the different points of the faith, okay? And we're going to get into it. I'm going to break it down for y'all because we love to break it down around here, okay? We love to break it down around here. So the role of the seven in the aspect of these vows, okay? Each aspect is different facet of life. The father represents justice and judgment called upon for fair, binding, and lawful oaths, okay? The mother represents mercy, compassion, and nurturing, invoked for protection of the innocent. The warrior represents strength and courage, used for oaths related to protection and battle. The maiden represents purity and innocence, used to invoke virtue and protection of women. The smith represents work and creation, used for pledges involving diligence, craftsmanship, and mending bonds. The crone represents wisdom and foresight, invoked for guidance and understanding the consequences of the oath. And the stranger represents death and the unknown, rarely invoked directly, but represents the finality of an oath till death. Okay. And the stranger is the only one that is not depicted as male or female. So there's an even number of male and female, and the stranger is just other. Okay. Okay. So y'all know the faith of the seven now. You have been indoctrinated.
I'm in the north. We follow the old guys. Sorry.
Yeah, and in Game of Thrones, you had Catherine who followed the faith of the seven. That's why she keep on saying the old gods and the new. Don't even try it, okay? Now, Egg, we see. Let's get back to the story. Egg changes clothes and he's in the stands because he was there. And he had he was in the stands. The horn goes off and Dunk waits to charge. Okay. Oh no, sorry, y'all. I went too far. Egg actually hands Dunk his lance. Dunk calls him his squire, and best be here when I get back. Rob me and I will hunt you down with dogs. And Egg barks at the end.
Woo!
Just like Dunk did. And later on, we see Egg in his change of clothes in the stands. The horn goes off, but Dunk doesn't move. That doesn't sound right with our horses. But in the first charge, Arian's lance breaks into Dunk's side and shatters his shield.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Like, man.
Then Arian rides around again and hits Dunk in the head with the mace to the face. Mela and Baylor. Huh?
Arian has a flail.
The flail?
Arian has a flail.
It looked like a
mace. Magar is the one who had the mace. No,
it looked like a
flail
mace.
is nothing but It's the handle with a chain and a ball on the end because it flails
Oh,
around.
okay.
A mace is one solid piece.
I thought they both had the spikes and everything on it.
They both had spikes on, but one was attached by a chain and a ball. So that's what makes it a flail. Because it's able, you use it to reach around shields. If you go around or top a person in armor, you go around the shield, you can smash the hand, smash the head, or whatever. Makar had a solid mace, just one whole solid mace. Arian had a flail. Yeah. We're going to have to get a little more specific when we talk about these weapons and arms they were using.
I thought they were both maces because they looked like they were
Mm.
both moving around.
Yeah, sometimes people try to interchange the name, but the proper name is Arian had a flail. Magar had a solid mace, just one piece of metal with a ball on the end, usually spikes or whatever. Arian had somewhat the same thing, but there was a chain attached to his ball and metal rod. That's what made it a flail, so it can move around. He can swing it, and when you go over the top of him, you can usually with the chain on it, the ball can whip around shields and smash the other opponent. That's why it's so dangerous. And it could be dangerous against the user if you don't know what you're doing as well, because that chain can turn around and smack you both.
Right. Right. I knew I saw both. I
Yeah.
knew I saw both. But okay. You can correct me because my notes don't have them as a distinction. So Mela and Baylor charge each other and Lionel charges the King's Guard. Okay? Because he wanted to get their pretty white gowns dirty. Now the King's Guard knock Harden off his horse. We see that. And Arian had Dunk in the face, and this unhorses him and Dunk. Okay?
Knocks him right out.
And his Dunk's whole visor fills with mud. And this is where we have our flashback to Dunk as a kid outside the Red Keep.
He knocked him into a flashback. That's crazy. That's crazy. He had him sleep remembering. He had us sleep remembering the past. That's wild to do. Like what?
So this
boy, you
is
got knocked
math.
out. Chris
Right.
Tucker.
This is
Chris Tucker said, but you got knocked out. Like, yeah, it was harsh. That's why flail is dangerous. That's why flail is dangerous.
Oh my word. Yes, knock us into a 15-minute flashback. So this is the aftermath of the Battle of Red Grass Field, the Battle of the Blackfire Rebellion. Now, the Blackfire Rebellion happened 12 years before the events of the current show. This is when the king at the time legitimized his bastards, okay? And his son, Daemon Blackfire, the sword of Aegon the Conqueror, is called Blackfire. It's the same sword, y'all, in Dance of the Dragons that golly, what was his name?
Viserys
had. He had the Blackfire sword when he raised it up and the beast came from beneath the boards. That's the Blackfire sword.
Well, that's Aegon the second. That's Aegon the second who did that.
Yes.
But yeah, they gave him the Conqueror's sword. It's an interesting thing about the whole Blackfire situation. When he was knighted in 182 AC, that's when he gave him the sword. A lot of people took that as a sign that he wanted him to rule after him because he gave him the Conqueror's sword. Like this rebellion, we gotta understand, and legitimize him. You gotta remember this rebellion literally did split the country in two. It literally split the country in two. A lot of people flocked behind Daemon Blackfire. The funny thing was the actual war didn't happen until 196 of the Red Grass Field, the actual rebellion. So there was a time period where things built up like really bad. because it's funny how they keep calling Queen Darian the good. He did some. He did some. If we might need to
The
go to him with it. He
aftermath
did some
of
okay
his
things.
good deeds was bad.
Yeah, but during that 12-year period before the war started, it was kind of funny. People was looking at him, didn't like him. They like Damon. It was like, Damon's kind of better. It's one of those situations. Unlike the House of the Dragon in the book, that is, you pretty much clear on one side, unless you really are a bad person, unless you're green for real. But in that Blackfire Rebellion, you really had to make a choice, and it was kind of a hard choice to make. Darren or Damon. And it was hard choice. It was a hard choice because Damon was well liked.
Right.
Well liked.
So, but Damon led the rebellion to take the crown and he lost. Okay. The kingdom took years to heal from that. And this battle is where Baelor earned his name Breakspear. Okay. Baelor and Maelor apparently took credit, but really it's the bastard Brendan Rivers who defeated Damon and ended many of his sons with a rain of arrows. Did you see all the arrows on that field?
Yes. Yeah, the Raven's Tooth. That battle was very interesting. The crown almost lost that battle. It was a very near thing. If certain things hadn't happened, they could have easily lost that
but a
battle.
Bastard helped them defeat. But a bastard helped them defeat a bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why if everything was split, Brendan Rivers, the Blood Raven, he fought on the side of the Targaryen loyalists. As some other, he's also the King's bastard as well. I think he was like the third bastard that was born. And yeah, he fought with the loyalists, whatever. But like I said, this was truly a split in the family of the bastards and the sons. It was like, okay, what do we do? Who do we follow? Who do we believe in more? It was rough. It was rough.
Absence, I'm glad you're keeping up. So a soldier is on the field. His emblem on his shirt is the twins of the House Frey on his chest. He sided with Daemon Blackfire, the losing side. Now remember House Frey. Remember House Frey, the Red Wedding. Okay? That's where he came from. So also the flag for the House Lannister was to the top left. You saw the red, it was blowing in the wind. They were on the side of the crown, the winning side. You all see how the Lannisters been all these generations side on the crown, Frey on the side of not the crown. But the Freys were promised to be elevated. That's why they went to the underdog side. Again, until the Game of Thrones, they always sided with the other side that's coming up. That's the phrase. So that they are promised, like Stefan, okay, was promised his lordship. They are promised to be elevated. So FYI, there were 6 Blackfire rebellions.
That's a lot.
This is just one of them.
Yeah, this was just the big first one. This was just the big first one.
There's more coming. There's more coming. Okay. So the soldier wakes up and he, meaning Dunk and his friend says, Rafe says, we could try to ransom him because Dunk was trying to help the soldier go on, in a peaceful manner. And the friend's like, we could ransom this man to his family. But the soldier kept saying mother, kept calling the mother. And remember what I said, the mother is there to represent mercy and compassion. And y'all will see that theme for this entire episode. The mother is very prominent. Okay. So Dunk didn't know, the soldier passes away, okay, when they're trying to pull him out. I thought half of him was going to come out. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But Dunk didn't know any
I knew
words.
they didn't have the strength for that, though.
Right, they didn't. They were young and weak by malnutrition. But Dunk didn't know any words to say over the soldier like Sir Pennytree. And gotta say, Rafe says you gotta say the words so that they don't end up in hell with the rest of us.
Mm.
What did you think about that? That a highborn person needs the word so they don't end up in hell?
Conditioning from what they was raised up to believe and whatnot. That's all it is. Just pure conditioning.
Yep.
And the circumstances that they live in. It's like you clearly say, yeah, you're supposed to say words over them for some odd reason or whatever. They don't get
Right.
words. You're muted. Oh, Elsa's a little muted. Oh, she might be talking to somebody. Yeah. She may be talking to her Lord. She may be talking to her Lord. But yes.
I'm talking to the boys and I'm trying to get them to close the door because the dogs were barking like constantly. I'm like, what the heck? Close the door. Who opened the door in the first place? But yeah, I was talking to them. But we see oh gosh. We see a not alive highborn being taken home on a horse. Okay, they are walking along the road, same road we saw with Arya. Okay, and two things we know: we've seen this road with Arya, leaving King's Landing, and when folks are met, like on the way to the Red Keep, because Tyrion also met Oberyn, or was supposed to meet Oberyn there. But that is the main road coming through the town. Now, the ride with the body has a symbol of House Stokeworth. And I wanted to take a moment to talk about House Stokeworth. Lord Alan Stokeworth was the hand to Aegon the First. Okay. After the passing of Sir Osmond Strong, y'all recognizing some of these names, okay? Strong was back in the day of Aegon the First, okay? Okay? I'm just making sure y'all understand where these names are coming from. So Lord Alan was given the task to build the Red Keep for the Targaryens. He was hand to two kings. Lord Alan was hand to two kings, and he put down a few rebellions. Baelor mentioned him when he first met Dunk. And Dunk asked for a co-signer. He said, Sir Arland overthrew Lord Stolworth in a melee at King's Landing. This is why I'm bringing this up. This person was shown, multiple times, mentioned. This is what I'm going to pull for you guys. That person that's being carried to the Red Keep. The reason why is because Stokeworth's family has deep ties with King's Landing and the Red Keep. Okay. Now, Bronn on Game of Thrones was betrothed to Lady Stokeworth in Game of Thrones season 4 when he was talking to Tyrion. Y'all catching the connections.
Lolly Stokeworth.
Make me a lord. I'm betrothed to Lady Stokeworth. So again, the Stokeworth name is attached to the crown heavily, even back then.
I hate to mention it, but this is also the girl. Unfortunately, when Joffrey and Sansa and Cersei were coming back to the castle, she was actually there with them as part of the party. And when the fight broke out, after they threw dung at Joffrey, and he started ordering the people killed, like Sansa, she was taken by the crowd, but she wasn't saved by anybody. So, she got soiled. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. So they were looking to find her husband quick because of her soilness. Here come Bronn. Right.
There you go. Here come Bronn. Because she was enriching because, as I said, her by that time it would be like great grandfather was the hand to Aegon the First. So even though she is soiled, her name certainly is not.
Yes.
And Bronn
the house still has honor.
Right, and Bronn being a lowly lad from Flea Bottom, he would definitely marry her. and become the next Lord Stokeworth. So Dunk thought the war was over. Okay, young Dunk thought the war was over and things will get better. And Rafe has to remind him it never stops. And as I told you all before, there's going to be 6 Blackfire rebellions. This is just the first one. Rafe says no one forgets Ish. You hurt someone, they hurt you back. Y'all, again, it's like Alice. No one forgets Alice with 3 fingers, did they? No one forgets her legacy. And people would continue to fight. Robert never forgot that Ned's sister was taken from him. So again, Rafe is showing us that she is certainly smarter than Dunk in this moment. What did you think about them?
I kill him every night, Ned. I kill him every night in my sleep.
Oh my gosh, Robert's echoes were all over this. I was like, this is not a Baratheon tale, but I heard Robert in a lot of this. Now, they hey Simplistic Grace, Flea Bottom looks a mess. We are taken to the bowels of Flea Bottom. The bowels.
Especially after a battle, that is.
Ooh, after the rats are running over people.
Ooh, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was nasty. And just
people
to film it,
amputated
in the street.
Yeah, getting using fire to seal wounds. Yeah, there's a lot of soldiers that were overrun. You know, this is fresh after a battle. Fresh after a battle, a bloody one. 10,000 men died on this field. 10,000. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Time, that's a lot. We can't even talk about the one that's injured. How many were just injured? Ugh.
Now, a man of the City Watch, Alistair, approaches them and calls them by name. Dunk, Rafe. Y'all, he is also missing an arm. And what do we know about people who miss a hand?
He stole something before.
He has
stolen
something.
He called her for a pickpocket.
And so he is now the City Watch. How he got there should be interesting. Considering that he's a thief. Okay? Considering he's a thief.
It's probably one of those situations, you stole something, you paid for it, that's your penance. And, you know, they need bodies usually for City Watch, you know, guardmen of the post. So, yeah, and I can almost guarantee you by this time, they weren't that choosy of who they allowed to join. Right. You need bodies.
Right.
You know, you need bodies.
Now, Simplistic Grace and hey, Fritos Paul. Trey, you look hilarious. I love your commitment. There you go. Love Trey's commitment. Trey has come properly dressed. Though I know
Lord
Simplistic
Trey
Grace.
To you, Frito Paul. Let's get it correct. Lord Trey, thank you.
Lord Snow. Ooh, okay. Simplistic Grace, because I know many people may not have liked this episode. That's why I came up with several things, including this map to show you kind of like where the names are, where everybody is. If you see in the green area where Ashford's name is in red, that's kind of like where he's supposed to be in the Reach. This is where the tournament is. So you kind of see where Dunk's group is coming from, that they're all not too far from the Reach. And also for us to see kind of like where everything is. Because many people are looking at Game of Thrones and not realizing that technically, you know, the Baratheons are south of King's Landing, but they're north of Dorne. And how far the Reach goes, where the Lannisters are, where, you know, the fish, the rivers are, and where the Eyrie is. Again, or River Run. I always call them the fish because I like the black fish. This is to kind of see where Dunk's people came from. What, Trey?
I was going to say, let me speak towards that. I personally love the episode, mainly being, I knew the source material. The fight itself is quick, bloody, fast. It doesn't last that long. in honest opinion. It does not last. When you actually read into the fight, it's very detailed what happens, but it doesn't last long because it is brutal. They extended this. They extended this fight longer than probably what it should be for television. So putting this flashback here at first, yeah, it was like, what are you doing? Then I went, oh no, wait, no, this makes sense. I get it now.
Right.
This makes sense. I see why they got to
Too
do this.
too much is going on for us not to have the fight where it is and this flashback, because you can't keep up with everything that's going on. And I had to go through a lot of videos and a lot of detail and a lot of stuff to figure out how to do a play-by-play of this fight for y'all, so y'all know what was flashing by really fast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely we understand, we get it. So
A
when
30-second
asked about,
flashback would not suffice on Aspen. That would not have worked.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
no.
It would have cheapened the show. It would have been terrible.
When they
You
ask
needed that.
about,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, you needed that.
No, you just got to get to it because when we get to Sir Arlen, that was really important. How he
Right.
shows up, but we'll get there.
So Alistair, that is the one-handed city watchman, when asked about the bag, Dunk says it's a bag of rats, and he jiggles the bag, and we could clearly hear coin. We could
Well, what
clearly
was you
hear
thinking?
coin or something. And a disturbance lets them get away, and Rafe steals Alistair's flask. Okay? His wine skin, I should say. Now, or ale skin. Now, Rafe and Dunk turn the goods in and are given stag coins. You all see those silver coins were stags. So you realize gold is Targaryen, silver is Baratheon stag. This is the second highest currency in Westeros, And the trader tells him, hey, Daemon's rebellion is over. Take this Blackfire stuff elsewhere. Because the Blackfire's lost the battle, y'all. Okay? Okay. Rafe says, this is enough to board the ship and sail at dawn. They're headed to the free cities of Essos. This is where, we're going to tie it in. Essos is where Daenerys grew up in Game of Thrones. These are the free cities that became their own cities after the doom of Valeria. They became independent, for lack of a better term. And we have seen Bravos, Pentos, and Vonaltis. Is that the three
Volantis.
we saw in Game of Thrones? Volantis, okay.
Yes.
Dunk worries that the free cities may be no better, and this may be the best that there is. And his mother, another iteration of mother may be coming back for him. Now, is this his poverty mindset, Trey? Okay. In the books, yes. He never met his mother. So why is he caught up on meeting his mother or waiting for his mother to come at this age?
Well, it's interesting. This is some of his trauma speaking through. We only hear about Rafe and his other friends that Rafe mentioned in later books, and they took this flashback. They took this story from bits and pieces that he tells Egg and others. Well, actually, Egg that he tells Egg along the story along the way, and they put it together to put it here because this is when it happened. And so it's interesting. He knows his mother's dead. He knows it, but he has to hold on to some type of hope out of all this despair that's surrounding them. Because he asked her, he was like, "What if the free cities is just like this place?" And she said, "Well, we'll just move on." But what if every place we go to is just like this? She goes, "That'll be sad."
Moving. Right.
And the funny thing is, they both were right. Unfortunately, they were poor little street rats. So any place they go, unless they find somehow to change your fortune by whatever means how you do that, they were always going to be in this particular situation wherever they go, unfortunately.
I thought that Rafe could be no one. Could become a no one.
She definitely had a good attitude for it.
She had to slide a hand. She was strong.
I have to say, yes, but I would have to, yeah, she probably could, but her biggest flaw would be her common sense.
Yes.
Because, baby girl, listen, there's such thing pushing it too far, okay? And you keep stealing from this guy, okay? Listen, I I'm not capable for him because he was horrible, but know your position, yo. That was just not smart. I'm like, oh, don't steal it, don't do it, don't do it. Mm-mm. She couldn't help it.
Yeah.
She
I
couldn't
mean,
help it. Mm.
klepto. I mean, that came to mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Rafe tells him that he is stupid if he thinks his mother is alive and that she's coming back. Ain't no way. If you want family, you got to go out there and get a family. Now, she does love him, and things are going to be better if he comes with her. Okay. So, is Dunk always following somebody else's dream? That is what I put in my notes here. Is Dunk always following somebody else?
Dump the lump, thick as a castle wall. Is the he? Yes, he is. In his youth, you could tell he was more of a follower. He's just a big guy, probably not the sharpest. He's not stupid. He's just not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's not dumb. He's just not the sharpest. It's just he kind of accepts things for where they are and lives in that wall and just lives in that sorrow of it. Rafe is more the type of person. No, I gotta do something about this. I gotta do something about this, which is interesting because I think he somewhat adopts that mindset after her or because of her
Right.
to a certain extent.
Right. He does later on. So the next day, they go and they buy the passage to leave the city. And
It was just
Dunk does stop to pet the goat before leaving. He's still talking to animals even at a young age. And
mhm.
Alistair sees them as they are heading out. Because it's like, Rafe, you just stole from Alistair and you going back to the same house, your regular place, or I should say just the regular dirty floor you used to. You know he gonna come
Mhm.
find you. But they're
Arrogance,
told, huh?
arrogance, a little bit of
Arrogance, yes.
arrogance there. I mean, though
They're told,
she was trying to get out. I give it his bail. She went there. We trying to get the heck up out of here. So she went there with a purpose.
mhm.
So it was.
When they get to the merchant area, they're told that it's not enough, that the price has doubled. Why didn't she just leave him behind and just go on? She had enough for one.
I don't think that was really in her either.
Mm,
Like, even though they gave her sort of looks and looks she might give, whatever, she clearly said, like, yeah, you love me. I love you too. So you need to be with me. I don't want to leave you here, but I will if I have to. It's your choice. But you see, whenever she got up the next morning, she clearly was like, "Don't, let's go."
yep.
Dragging him along. She wouldn't just leave him there.
He been dragged along by a lot.
Hmm.
But she lashes out at Dunk because they couldn't leave, and Alistair corners them and takes their money. Okay, Alistair corners them, and I agree. Simplistic Grace probably didn't want to go alone. You're going into the unknown. You probably want to take someone who is familiar, to
Hmm.
you. But
Yeah.
when Alistair takes their money and when he lets them go, Rafe steals his knife.
Wait,
He
there was something I wanted to mention first.
Go ahead.
I thought it was interesting when they tried to book passage. The guy specifically said the rates have doubled, and he was
Yes.
like, "You're not the only ones that's trying to get the heck up out of here. The Blackfires have lost the rebellion, so a lot of them are trying to get the heck out of Dodge while they still can, because at some point the crown." It's not immediate, but at some point they're going to exact retributions against certain houses and families that fought on the other side. So what he said was very pathetic. People are certain members of houses are trying to get the heck out of there. And we know where a lot of them end up going over to Essos and making their own cell sword company, the
Right.
Golden Company.
Yes. It's made of second
Yeah.
sons.
So it's very interesting that he said that.
Well, after, as I said, Alistair corners them. When he lets them go, Rafe steals his knife. And when he finds out, he grabs her and he cuts into her throat.
Mm-hmm.
And she falls into Dunk's arms. Um, is this maybe why he jumped to Tanzel's rescue?
She does resemble. She has some resemblance. Listen, Dunk has a type. Dunk, he like those. He like the dark skin, olive skin women.
Dornish style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he like a little heat. Yeah, he like a little heat. You know, it kind of matches his personality actually. So yeah,
Yep.
like a little feistiness. Like
We
a
know
little
them sand
feistiness.
snakes. We know them sand snakes.
Lord have mercy. Spicy. Like a spicy. Yeah.
Absence, you're right. Black and fierce woman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Dunk jumps up onto Alistair's back. He bites him in the neck. Alistair tells his friend to stick him in the leg. Do y'all remember where that also was? That was also Jamie doing that to Ned Stark in the
Well, not
streets.
Jamie per se.
Not Jamie,
One
but
of
Jamie
Jamie's
saying,
men.
do it, get him, stick him.
No, well, hold on now. We got to be honest. Jamie didn't want that. Jamie didn't said that. He was fighting him one-on-one, and Homeboy walked up behind him and stuck him in the back of the knee. Jamie walked up to that man and knocked him the F out for doing so and interfering in the fight. He should have killed him there, but he didn't.
Should have.
But because he wanted a fair fight.
He wanted to toy with Ned. I mean, truly.
Nah, he wanted that fair one. And that surprised him. Because he always wanted to kind of scrap against Ned. Because, Ned fought Sir Arthur Dane and all this. So he like, yeah. And Arthur Dane trained Jamie.
But
Sir Arthur Dane trained Jamie.
But again, Ned could be Jamie's father. I mean, Ned is older.
Not by much, but yes. Not by much. Jamie was 16 doing no. Actually, they're around the same age.
Okay. Well, the show made them 16, seem older.
17. Yeah, Jamie was 16, 17 during the time of Ares or everything, and Ned was around the same age. He was on 16, 17 because Robert was 16, 17 when all this happened during Robert's rebellion. They were very young.
Trey, you're totally focusing on the wrong thing. The similarity there is clear. Else it is right.
Yeah, we ain't getting away with that. If you're gonna character assassinate somebody, at least do it with
I wasn't
facts,
trying to character assassinate. I'm just saying that Dunk was stabbed in the leg like Ned was. Okay.
He was, and that's He had to say Jamie did it because he didn't. That's all I'm saying. If he did it, then say he did it, but he did. That's what I'm saying. I'm focused on the right thing. Truth and honor and justice. See, I can see who the true knights really would be up in here and who won't be. Okay? I see what's going on.
Hey,
y'all aliens. All y'all aliens out here.
I bet I can get a whole bunch of people to co-sign my knighthood, okay?
I probably so. You be just like Arian and them. Go ahead on. Be like Arian and them. I don't care. Go ahead on.
In the meantime, we hear a call to the mother again, y'all. Again, the mother is throughout this episode. In the name of the mother, leave that boy be.
Boy be. Drunk behind, come busting through the door. Punch one guy out. Started wrenching. Now let's get to it. So all in the penny tree.
Sir Pennytree throws up, and then he throwing hands, okay? While
Mm-hmm.
drunk. The mother, again, y'all remember, is a symbol of mercy. So maybe since Dunk wanted his mother, okay, to come save him, when he heard Sir Pennytree say, in the name of the mother, let this boy be. Do you think that's what Dunk was moved by?
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody literally coming in and saving them, just doing what's right.
But in the name
Yes.
of the
And then
mother, he's hearing mother.
he's hearing that in the name of the mother. Yeah. In the name of the mother, leave that boy be. He's a quote unquote innocent, and they're being picked on and played with or whatnot. Yeah, it'll affect you as a young man and your friend, one of your best friends, to kill in front of your face like that, blood splattered on your face. Woo, it's pretty rough.
Well, Rafe passes away, y'all. Rafe passes away, and Dunk cries at home. It seems like days. I mean, it looked like days, but it wasn't. But he sees and hears Sir Pennytree in the streets. He is looking out. He's looking above through the grate, like he did when he was in the dungeon after he hit Arion. So he's looking out. He saw that rat there. Now he's looking out again, and he sees Sir Pennytree. Okay, in this flashback. What he does do is he follows Sir Pennytree through the streets, through the King's Road, under the camp, while Sir Pennytree is asleep. He tries his sword.
With a wounded leg this whole time.
Yes.
A wounded leg.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? And let me go high level. You know how many times Dunk says I'm sorry to different people in this episode?
All the time.
All the time. All the time. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
And what happens here is we notice in a wider shot that Sir Pennytree is laying next to a grave. That grave is his nephew, who was his squire. Okay. And if you notice the flowers that are on the grave, it is the same flowers that Dunk put on Sir Pennytree's grave. So Dunk may not know the words, but Dunk certainly has long-term memory. Okay. He put
Roger
the same
of
flowers. Yes.
His name was Roger of Pennytree.
Roger of Pennytree. So this nephew passed away. That was his squire. So hence, this is why Sir Pennytree would have an opening for a squire. Okay. Now, this is why also probably why Dunk also slept next to Sir Pennytree's grave for a while. Because he noticed Pennytree slept next to his nephew's grave. He may not know the words, but I think he was going through the symbols. What were your thoughts about that?
My first thing that I thought about, oh, this is sweet. This is a similar way how he met Egg to a certain extent. It was drawing similarities. But another thing that hit me, if you notice, since everybody want to go high level, let's go high level. We never know on what side Sir Arlen fought on.
Ever.
Let that sink in. We never know what side Sir Arlen fought on in the Blackfire
Because all
Rebellion.
the lords that Dunk mentioned have fought on both sides of the Blackfire Rebellion.
At one point, yes.
That much I know, Trey.
It's interesting. But I've noticed them starting to speak and drawing on those parallels. It's interesting what's happening here.
No, Pennytree was not there because he was in jail for drunkenness. He was there.
He was drunk. He was drunk. He was in mourning of his nephew. That's why he was there drinking in the first place.
No. Here's what it is. The Blackfire Rebellion happened close to King's Landing. We don't know which side he fought on, but whatever side that was the battleground. That's why he was in King's Landing. So he had the battleground close to King's Landing. He lost his nephew. He's drinking in the pub. He buried his nephew. So that's why he was in the area, because he was, and as Trey said, we don't know which side he fought on, but he was there for the battle,
at
that
all.
first Blackfire Rebellion. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's why he was there in the
Definitely
first
fought
place.
in it.
Yeah,
Definitely
he fought in
fought.
it.
Well, you know what? We we actually have a hint that may come up later to what side he may have fought on. It's a
At that
hint.
time.
Yeah. But we might not, we ain't gonna talk about maybe that's for a later date. There's a little
Yes.
hint. We're ready to
Yes.
save that for another season. It's gonna come up. It's
Mhm.
gonna come up.
Now Dunk follows Serpenitry for days, limping behind him because he got that injury on that leg, and ain't nobody there to help him take care of it. And he is with. Now they're saying that's Serpenitry talking in tongues. That's just the tongue of a drunk man. I'm sorry.
No, he's talking. He's singing in Dothraki.
Is that what it is?
I'm serious. Yes. When you see, I watch everything with closed caption. First of all, I recognized what he was saying. I was like, wait a minute, why that sound familiar? Because it's some of the same words that he used in Daenerys' wedding when she's getting married, and you hear people yelling in the background. It's some of the same phrases. But you turn on the closed captions, it clearly says singing in Dothraki.
Okay, mine didn't say that, and I had it on closed captioning.
Yeah, mine was clear singing in Dothraki.
Okay.
So he was singing literally Dothraki.
Okay.
It was wild. Okay. So he's been to Darth. He's been to. Well, it is said later on that he had spent time in the Free Cities and went to Dothraki phase Dolof. Yes. Singing in Dothraki. It was crazy. I was like, what? Okay. Talking crazy.
Now he's following Serpenitry, okay? And we see him in parallels to Egg. He's whittling, that's doing, the whole whittling the wood and using the knife and stuff to carve stuff. And he kept following. Now finally, Serpenitry sees him coming along the lane, and Dunk collapses. And his first words, Serpenitry's first words to Dunk were,
"Get up. And we back in." Oh. Oh. And he sees a flail coming. Oh, yeah, yo. Woo, rolls with the punch. Gets up. It's time to get with it now. Oh, we in the fight. We in the fight, y'all. Let's go. Put him up. Let's go.
So Dunk gets hit, and y'all forgive me, I'm using the word mace interchangeably. Gets hit with a mace on the ground from Arion, and from horseback from Maelor. Maelor is unhorsed by Baelor. Okay, Dunk and Arion were rolling in the mud. Now, y'all, when I saw them rolling in the mud, I said, Dunk, you are back to your street fighting ways of Flea Bottom. Arion knows the whole sword and shield and lance. But what Dunk know is these hands. These hands. So you bring it down to the mud, you in Dunk's home territory, okay? You in Dunk's whole territory.
Oh, yeah.
Arion is used to, being, attacking folks without getting any retaliation. And Arion does hit, Dunk with a blade in the side. Okay? What the heck is going on? Y'all are late. Lord Snow came dressed for the battle. Lord Snow came dressed for the battle.
I'm ready for the trial of 7. I don't know why you came. That's I came prepared. Okay. Goodman Pate made this armor. Okay. Give me Pate made this armor, quality armor. Because let's talk. We got to talk about that. I noticed people was.
We will get to the armor. We will get to the armor in the end because some armors hold up and some armor fail. Okay, we will get to the end.
To the end, man. I was like, that's good armor right there. That's
so
all I say.
If you didn't notice, someone rode by and knocked Arion off of Dunk, and that was Raymond Fossaway. And Stefan, when you see the horse go over and you see that rider gets hit by someone else, that was Stefan going at him.
Yep.
And a Kingsguard loses his lance to Sir Robert Riesling. So when you kind of do a slow frame, you see, Stefan hitting Raymond, because Raymond hits Arion and he's kind of looking back to see if he really did hit him.
Not paying
and
attention.
That's when Stefan do a sneak attack.
Yeah. Well, you can't call it sneak attack. It was right in front of your face. I can't help you weren't looking.
How was it in front of my face if I ain't looking?
This is a fight, sir. You're on your horse. Your horse is galloping this direction. I'm facing you in the opposite direction. Okay? This is a battle. You hit this guy, cool. Look back forward because your opposition is coming right at you. But Raymond does have the clutch gene. Okay? We got to give him that. He was clutch.
Yes. He was clutch. He was clutch a few times.
The dunk was about to get there. The dunk was about to get in the hands. Now, we gotta be fair here. Arion is a good fighter.
Yes.
Okay, he is well trained.
He held his own.
We heard this in Game of Thrones when Jon Snow was at the wall and he was fighting the rest of the boys, and Sir Alicent was like, who's gonna beat Jon Snow with it? And Tyrion had to tell him, like, hey, no one has had a castellan at their castle to teach them how to fight. Arion knows how to fight, and he was displaying it. I had to be like, wow, Arion is very good. Arion's very good. That doesn't mean Dunk is a slouch. I know people wanted to say this, but Dunk was trained by Sir Arlen. I could tell in some of the stuff he was doing, he was definitely trained. He just was trained differently. He was trained differently because he had size and strength.
He wasn't trained to be having no pocket knives.
He was. He just never pulled out. That's one thing they left out. He actually does pull out his own dirk at some point in the fight. They didn't decide not to put that in for some odd reason. But he does pull out his own dirk at some point in the fight. It's towards the end, and he actually puts it to Arion's throat, and that's actually where Arion does yield.
Okay. So why did Dunk drop the dagger after he pulled it out of his hands? He was taking jabs. He falls. He finds Sir Arlen's sword. This is Sir Arlen who fell off his horse. His sword was what Dunk picks up when he finds the sword on the ground, y'all. Yeah. So why did he drop that dagger and not keep it? Because he can't hold it.
When you're in a fight, when you're in a fight, sometimes you don't think too clearly. You're in this fight. You already stopped one blade. First you get hit in the thigh, rolls you over. He comes at you with, actually it was two different knives he came at him with. It was kind of crazy.
Yes.
He stabbed him in the leg with one knife. Then he pulled out I still use the word. The first one was a knife. It didn't go all the way through because it's chainmail, but he definitely got stabbed.
Yep, he got poked.
The second one, the second one was a dirk. Mm-hmm. Now a dirk is made to go through chainmail specifically. Yep. Armor a little harder, but chainmail specifically. That's why Dunk, he saw it, recognized it, immediately held his hand up to stop it because he was going for his throat.
Not only his throat, it could also pierce where his eye is, his visor.
Eye holes. Yes, it was slender and it's not even really a dirk. Is not. It can be knife like, but it's long, slender with a very very sharp point, very narrow point,
like needle.
Yes, it's a very needle like weapon. So yeah, he was trying to kill him. He had to block it with his hand. Now, why didn't he use it afterwards? The main thing you think about is getting that thing out of your hand, because first of all, you can't fight with a knife in your side. You can't fight with a thing stuck in your side. You can't fight with a knife in your hand. Pull it out, get rid of it, find your main weapon if you can, because it was laying off to the side of him.
Right.
So that's what he tried to go for.
Now, when he knocks Arion down, the lady of the evening that he met, the redhead, she yells out in the stands, "Yeah!" Now, the King's Guard are right there on their horse, at least one of them, and they're not getting involved. The butt of the horse is kind of facing Arion and Dunk, and the horse actually, in my estimation, prevents Arion from really stepping back from Dunk. it prevents him.
Yes.
When he pulled back, the horse is right there. It's like, I know the Kingsguard is trying to keep other people away, but he actually wasn't helping. But Dunk was getting
No.
after that, was getting poked a lot. They were swinging at each
Mhm.
other. Raymond again rides through between them and help Dunk knock Arian down. Raymond is keeping tabs on Dunk. Everybody else
Mhm.
fighting other people. Raymond keeping tabs on his friend. Now,
Well, Baylor too, because in that same scene, it's very quick. You can see Baylor trying to keep another Kingsguard and his brother at bay until he gets help from a particular person.
right. Now,
Magar was the
Arian,
truth. Magar was the truth out there. This is be real. Magar
yes.
was fighting.
Yes,
He was the
he was
truth out
swinging.
there.
Now,
For the
Arian threw his
fences.
sword into Dunk's leg. Okay.
Great throw.
And the sword goes into like the helm gap, and Dunk takes his helm off. Dunk takes his helm off. Now, why would Dunk take his helm off? Because this is dangerous right now.
It was dangerous, but in that moment, his left eye is already swollen from the mace hit they took from the first mace hit they took the head and knock him off the horse. So his left side is a little swollen. He can't see out of it. That's why if you notice, Arian was attacking him a lot on his left side that he could not see. Any attacks from the right, Dunk was defending well. The wound to the eye visor, when Arian did a very fancy move. He came across his backside, stabbed up from behind, then got hit by the horse, went down, and used the momentum to throw his sword into Dunk's leg. Walks over, Dunk has to stab her back. Arian walks up, now we call this half-handed. He half-hands his blade, uses the cross guard, which has points on it, to try and drive it into the visor of Dunk's face. The actual point doesn't go through it. Right. The visor did what it's supposed to do. It stopped the crossguard, which was actually impressive that happened. That's y'all. That is impressive that happened. But a piece of it cuts this right side, the left side of Dunk's eye. That's why you saw it go bloody for a second. So now the blood is rushing across your face. Now you literally can't see, because the blood is coming across his face all the way to his right eye, his only good eye left. He had to take that helmet off. Not only to see, but to breathe, because he was having trouble breathing as well.
Yes.
So even though it's ill-advised in that moment, we got to take the helmet off, because it's now it's becoming an impediment instead of helping you.
Now, Dunk, when he retaliates, he gets to cut into Arian's leg. Now, it reminded me of what Egg said about what Arian used to do to him. I said, Dunk, you needed that blade to go a little bit higher.
That was added. That was actually added. That wasn't in the book. So that part was added. I'm glad they added it. That was good.
In the background, it looked like Lionel
that they did.
Yep.
I like the way that he did it. Because Dunk swings, takes two big swings. Oh, I was gonna say he takes two big swings. Then he flips his sword around to use his cross guard to. I think it was a twofold thing. He swings upward, not only to see, because Arian is wearing armor and mail up under there, so that's why that sword cut didn't go all the way through. But it hit him enough not only to catch him, but to use that cross guard when he lift up to rip whatever's there out of chainmail, gavison, and flesh, and whatever's testicles he can get at, because it lifts him up and he goes to the ground.
Because this is really Arian's really first deep gash. I mean, Dunk's been poked at. He been hit with the lance. He's been taking on hits. This is the first real hit Arian got. And in the background, it looked like Lionel is heading for Malar, and his horse gets felled. Okay.
Yes.
Lionel gets felled off of his horse. But Lionel, if you slow that frame down, Lionel knows how to not let his horse fall on him.
Yeah, he falls back off before that horse can fall on him. I thought that was interesting. Right before you see Malar do that, he's actually in between his brother and I think it was Sir Ray. Was it Sir Rosalind? It had to be Sir Rosalind because he's running up. He sees his son in danger. He's like, oh no. Grass Baylor flings him. He
Mm-hmm.
flings him off to his right, pushes the other guy. Mike goes to run and help his son. Then he sees Lionel come up on his steed, and he smartly, with his mate still in his hands, grabs down, grabs the lance, and goes straight up into that horse. Now, y'all, in this particular part, this is not dishonorable because this is not just a joust anymore. This is a
Right.
full off fight.
The street fight.
This is a fight. Okay, so if you could take out your opponent's horse and kill him that way, and the horse fall on him, you do it. This is a battle. This ain't joust no more.
Lionel was able to fall properly, but guess what? Lionel lost some antlers off of his stag crown.
Yep.
Okay. He lost half of it.
Right.
And we see Mailer is being held back while he's yelling, my boy, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
And Arian, when he's coming up, it looks like his fingers were sliced off, Trey.
It was.
His fingers look like they
lost
were
some
gone.
fingers. Yeah, because when Dunk hit him with the lower blade, Arian put his hand down there to try to push down the blade, and that's when Dunk lift up. And as he lift up, he cuts pieces of his fingers off, and of course cut him between the legs. So yeah, it was a devastating fight.
It
was a devastating cut.
Mm-hmm.
Devastating cut.
So Dunk falls over. Egg is yelling, get up. Get up. Mm-hmm. And Arian is yelling to Dunk to kneel.
Get up, sir. Get up, sir.
Arian is telling Dunk to
Get
kneel.
Up, sir, Duncan.
Dunk falls over, and Arian takes this time to say, he's done.
He's dead.
He's done. He's dead.
Stop the fight.
And as the horn blower is about to blow the horn, Egg yells,
that little shrill was something else. I was like, Lord have mercy.
But again, he's the only one of royal blood up there in the stands that with the power to stop them. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
Everybody else is on the field.
Yeah.
So Dunk gets up, and the whole crowd is yelling, up, up, up. The small folk are on Dunk's side. They are chanting up.
Get up, now, sir. Get up, Duncan. Get up, sir.
What people say, that's their new alarm tone. Get up, sir. Get up, sir, Duncan.
Get up, sir, Duncan.
Get up.
Get up. And then the second one could be the what?
That should be a snooze alarm.
Mine's gonna be Sir Arlen. I like Sir Arlen. Get up. Just the grittiness of it. Get up. Yeah, that'll get me up in the morning right there. It was the deepest. He just look at you. Get up. Okay, all right. I'm up. Because that's every time he hears it, don't just on your feet, boy. On your feet.
Now,
and it kind of harkens back to earlier flashback. It's really quick when you actually see Sir Duncan Sir Arlen training. Dunk knocks Sir Arlen down, and you hear him say, "Get up, sir," and he helps Sir Arlen's up. So that's been a thing. That's been a theme for them. No matter how much you get knocked down, no matter what how much life knocks you down, always get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Now, from here, Dunk beats Arian with his own shield and his fits. Okay. Dunk couldn't use his shield because, of course, his shield has busted into.
Shattered. It's been shattered.
But this for me was like the tools of the Highborn was used against the Highborn Lord. That's what I saw, and I was like, "Ooh, okay." But Arian says, "I yield." Dunk is looking left and right, And it's like, wait a minute, everybody's still fighting. So no one has heard
Yeah,
you, sir. Fighting's
yeah.
still going on. Raymond is fighting Stefan. Lionel and Baylor are tag teaming Maylor. Maylor swings back and hits Baylor in the head with the mace. Okay.
Bing. And he wasn't even looking. It was just a back swing.
Yes,
He
because
wasn't
somebody's
looking.
coming up from behind him. He knew it.
Yeah, he knew it.
He knew it.
He was getting held back. It was a great move. He windmills his arm forward and then swings back
Swing
to get the attacker off of him. Yeah.
And
so
Lionel this is where we see he's missing some antlers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dunk drags Arian to the stage or close to the pavilion for him to yell, "I yield," and Arian says, "I withdraw my accusation."
Now they left something out here, which I'm surprised that they did. Everything. Let me start at the beginning. Everything takes place right. Dunk stands up. The crowd is cheering. He puts one hand on. He grabs the sword in both hands. He goes into what they call a half stance. A half stance, right? Sword in front of you, halfway down, waiting for the attack. Arian, like I said, he's a very good warrior. He stands there, picks up his sword, pulls down his visor, and he waits. He actually waits for Dunk to attack first.
Yep.
Because he's a little spent. He's tired.
Yes.
If you notice, he's like, yo, this dude won't go down. This is getting annoying. Let me wait him out. He waits for Dunk to attack. Dunk swings, 2 big blows. Arian ducks back. Dunk sidesteps one and immediately goes for a side cut to the neck. But he misses. Mm-hmm. He hits Dunk in the gorget. That's why I'm wearing my gorget. He hits Dunk in the gorget. Dunk doesn't have a helmet on. He should have went for his face.
Right.
He kind of does, but the Dunk slightly moves to his right, and the sword catches. Now, when he does that, this is what I said, Dunk is trained. When he does that, it's very quick. Dunk takes his sword. As Arian's sword comes down, he pulls his sword over here to trap his blade to protect his head and neck. And it traps Arian's blade. And as he does that, he takes his left hand up under Arian's right hand, grabs it, lets go of his sword, grabs Arian, and slams him down to the ground. It was very technically done. Mm-hmm. Takes his left knee, mounts Arian on his arm to make sure he can't stab anymore. And that's when Arian tried to hit him with the shield. Now, this is important about the shield. Dunk in the book don't realize that Arian's shield is much better than his actually is.
Yes.
I think Sir Arlen's old shield is made out of I forgot what kind of wood it's made out of. No, his is made out of elm. He realizes that Arian's shield is made out of oak, which is denser and heavier and has a thicker band. So that's why he realized, okay, now I see why my shield broke on that first lance. Arian's shield didn't, because he actually strikes Arian on his shield when they're jousted. They hit each other smack dab on the shield. His go through, Arian doesn't. When he grabs Arian's shield, twists out his arm, and goes to wailing. That was a great moment. And he did something smart, threw the shield away, lifted his visor, gave him a fist mail to the face 2 or 3 good times.
Knock a few more teeth
then
loose.
He holds up, gives him a chance. The mother's mercy.
The mother's mercy.
This theme was throughout the top. The mother, because he could have killed him.
Yes, he could have.
This is another thing.
Ended him.
We kind of got to talk about this too, but I think we'll get back to this later. But he could have killed him, because there's 2 ways to win this fight. Either him or Sir Duncan dies, and whoever, and that's what side wins, or the accuser has to withdraw their accusation.
Yes, and that's why Absence, that was important. And thank you, Jaguar, for answering the question in the chat. Arian saying, I withdraw my accusation is what stops the entire fight.
Yeah.
It means Dunk wins.
I missed one crucial part. This is the part I say that they left out. when he tells Dunk he yields the first time, you're right. No one hears him. Don't realize he has to get him to say it to the crowd. He starts to drag Arian by the leg. But as he's dragging Arian passes his mace and tries to grab it to hit Dunk again. So, showing his dishonor because you just yielded. He tries to hit him again. Dunk sees it, turns around, kicks him in the face again. I wanted to see that. I kind of wanted to see that. I was like, yes.
We ain't got the time. We ain't got the time for all that.
We made time for everything else. No, we got the time. Y'all chose not to do it, and they chose not to do something else. Which I love this episode, but I got to give them some smoke for something that they should have done. They should have did it. They should have did it, but they didn't. They should have did it, but they didn't. I get to that later.
Now the armor, and I never remember his name. You know his name.
Pate. Goodman Pate.
Goodman Pate. Okay.
Goodman.
see, Simplistic Ray said they ain't got the time because they spent it all on flashback.
Well, this only 35 minutes. They got plenty of time. Okay, don't miss me with we got time, long time. No, all these shows should have been an hour long, but that's you know what? That we getting off to another tangent.
Yes,
that's another tangent. So we ain't gonna go there, but don't miss me. This I don't see. This has been one of the most greatest adaptations of George R. R. Martin. They've really stuck to it and added to it. But things like this, no, I want a 1-to-1. Give me the lines, give me the scene, give me the action. You should have showed Arian a little punk behind trying to grab that mace and hit him again and have Dunk stomp him in the face.
And they said
I wanted to stomp him.
They said they gave it to you by giving you the book, but but the armorer, Sir Pete, as you said, catches
I wanted to stomp him. Stomp him. Stomp him.
The armorer catches Dunk before he falls, and Raymond Fossaway is there again in the clutch to help Dunk to the back. And when he gets to the back, he asks, after the others, has anyone died? So let's get to the lineup. Y'all, this is the lineup, and this is what has happened to the people in the lineup. Okay. So for Sadunk's side, we were told that 2 passed on the first round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Humphreys, wasn't it the Humphreys they said passed on the first round? Beesbury and Harding on the first charge. We realize also that, well, I'll get to that. But if we look at it, let's look at the whole lineup. This is who was wounded. This is who perished. Now, for me, I would say, since your side had the most losses, you lost. Because everybody else on the other side only wounded. Nobody perished on the other side.
That's not how this fight is called.
Yes, it's not called. I know that's not how it's called. I understand. Okay. Humphrey Harding, fatally wounded. Duncan has been wounded. We saw his wounds. Baylor, fatally wounded. We're going to get to that. Humphrey Beesbury, caught in action. And as you see, Prince Darion, the drunkard, he was wounded. Arian yielded. And William Wilde was wounded. Okay. So this is the lineup, and this is what happened to them during the fight. Okay. I just figured I'd get some captions for y'all this time, some photos for y'all. So the chainmail, we find out, is driven into Dunk's flesh. And Sir Pete, the armorer Pete, good man Pete, strong man Pete, we will get him drunk and then pour oil on it. That's how the maesters do it. And Baylor walks in and says, wine. Pour wine on it, not oil. The oil will end him. Dunk in all of his pain, Dunk in all of his pain kneels to Baylor and says, I am your man. Please, I am your man.
Your Grace, I'm your man. Your man, Your Grace. Your man.
This is going to fulfill his wish to serve um a high house. And what greater house than, you know, the king's
House
house? Come on
Targaryen.
now. Exactly. So Baylor said, I need good men, Sir Dunk. The realm. And the realm basically needs good men. But, you know, he does get his wish to serve a high lord, but Dunk has fallen over. Okay. Baylor at this time asked Sir Raymond, my helm, please. The visor is cracked. My fingers feel like wood. My brother's mace, mayhaps. He is strong.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond and Goodman Pete help him. They take the helm off,
It's
and
good
Baylor
steel, Your Grace. The helm is crashing into the gorget down the backside. Good steel to stop a blow.
Baylor turns around, and we see the back of his skull is crushed. Baylor falls, and Dunk is crying over him like he did with Rafe. And Egg kneels beside
Up,
them.
sir. Up, Your Grace. Up. Up, sir. Up. Get up, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Get up,
Now,
sir.
it did break my heart too. Simplistic Grace, it broke my heart, but again, cinematically, it was done to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor sounded a little bit off, but you think it's because he's battle weary. You know, he took some hits. He had to. He ain't coming to this. But remember, y'all, this helm was borrowed from his son. This is not his usual
Mm-hmm.
helm. That too. Now, Dunk's helm took several hits to the head directly. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Pete's craftsmanship held its own. So the dream, apparently, y'all will go on. The dream was right. Okay. Darren's dream was right. Okay. A dragon falls on top of Dunk, big enough to cover the whole field. This dragon is Baelor. He is the hand of the king. He was professed to be in the next king. He is the dragon that covers the whole field. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Magor is now a kin slayer because he dealt the blow that ended his brother. Now,
Technically, yes.
will he blame his son Arion for the death
Mm.
of his brother and making him a kin slayer? Or is it, since it's between the boundaries of this noble fight, will he be seen as a kin slayer? What are your
Depends on
thoughts?
who you ask. That would be completely on who you ask. But then the balance of this fight, no, he shouldn't be, and he can't be. It's a fight. It's a fight sanctioned by all the lords of the lords and all the laws and religious sect of Westeros. This is a sanctioned fight. If you enter this fight, you are risking your bodily harm. Okay, it is what it is. Is he going to feel bad about it? My, without saying what I know, I would say yes, but
Yes,
it's gonna have a different appearance to others.
because the
But I would
anvil
still
is
say
going to miss
yes.
the hammer. What good is the anvil
Yes.
without the hammer? What good is a hammer without the anvil? And these are the oldest and youngest. You know, it's like you just got rid of the succession.
What I mean is, I've noticed, and this was done on purpose for cinematically for the show. A lot of people don't understand the relationship between Baylor and Makar and Milor. A lot of people don't really get that relationship. Like
Right,
they, it's a little difficult. This goes back to this, since we're gonna do high overviews. This goes back to what Lionel said in the beginning of this episode. Mother loved you best, shit, didn't she? Such a
right,
shame. Men who have lost their mothers fight the more fiercely. When they were young, Dana, I believe her name is actually the mother of all four of those boys. But Baylor is the only one that looks like her because he has
Right.
dark hair and all this stuff.
The
The
Dornish
rest
look.
of them, yes, the rest of them look like Targaryens. The blonde hair and everything. All the other three brothers and their sons look like their sons and daughters look like Targaryens. Baylor's
Yes.
the only one that's different, and because of that, she doted on him
Mm-hmm.
and kind of neglected the others, including
Yes.
Maglor. But so Maylor had he had a difficult relationship with his own mother because
Right.
Baylor was the favorite. But
Yes.
he never begrudged Baylor for that because
No, he found his own way.
Baylor defended him almost at any term, supported him.
Yes.
This is why Baylor follows Baylor everywhere they go. You hardly
Everywhere.
see them separate.
The hammer and the anvil don't go far from each other, and that's why people saw it as strange. Well, within the book narrative, because
Baylor.
usually the youngest is resentful that he is not in line of succession, and usually the oldest ain't got time to look at anybody behind him because he is looking towards the throne. So that is where the relationship definitely was strong with them. But as Jaguar said, Makar never smiled again, they said. And the after the tourney at Ashford, it was very remorseful. I mean, come
Mm-hmm.
on,
This is brother.
doing doing this, and your brother is the one who passes. Then think of also his son, Makor's son. I just lost the name. Who had the
Arian.
vision? Darren,
Oh,
and he's
Darren.
Darren. He
Darren,
had the vision.
now, he had a vision, but Darren never told them, the rest of his family, what that vision was
Right.
or his other visions. Mainly because first you got to believe in that sort of stuff. And if you notice, there was, especially, I think we talked about this last week, there's different sects of seers.
Right.
The dragon dreamers, whenever they dream something, it's always metaphoric. So you kind of have to decipher what's what, who's
What it
who.
is.
And
Mhm.
so it can be unreliable. It can
Mhm.
be very unreliable until it happens. You go, oh, wow, okay. So he can say when he's a kid, I have these dreams and they come true, whatever. And they might look at him like, what are you talking about, boy? What? Get out of here, real quick. So, and his only escape was to drink. So, to give him some respite from the dreams. Makar, in the books, I've always seen him as more of a tortured soul kind of guy.
Yes.
He's a
Yes.
tortured soul kind of guy, especially after this event, you
Yes.
know, because he lost. It wasn't just his brother. Baylor was his best friend.
Yes. His support
It's
system, his
yeah,
ride,
yeah.
everything. I mean, it's
First
kind of
one to
like,
take up for him.
would
Yeah,
you say it's kind of
big
like
brother.
Viserys and Damon?
Yes, in a way. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be more specific. Book Viserys and Damon, absolutely.
Yes. I
Show
know where
version a
you coming
little,
from.
yeah.
Yeah,
Show
show is a little iffy.
version.
But it is an
They,
older brother, younger brother, throne
yes.
versus, but definitely I could see um, you know, something I could see that. Yes, something they thought about from the preview that Maker's willing to let Egg go with Dunk
We have to wait the next
after.
week to talk about that one. Cause
Well,
that's gonna be a little deep. That's gonna be a
it is
little
going to
bit
be
deep.
deep. We'll find out the reasons why, but remember in the preview, he also says he will serve no other knight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He will serve no other knight. Next week we see Baylor's pyre, his funeral pyre. Again, we do not have dragons. Okay? We do not have dragons. And one thing I put under here, and I know we want to have things come full circle, like the seer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The seer that told Egg about himself. I had a thought that maybe that was Brendan Rivers because he can change his features.
So they say.
So they say. Okay, but
So they
is
say.
is it a realistic thing that he can do, or is it like how they thought Robb Stark and his wolf traded places? But again, we know in the books they warged. We know in the books they warged. So it wasn't like that
Yeah.
because I wanted to, and I know we're going to get Brendan Rivers. I know we're going to get Rivers down the line because Rivers becomes important. And y'all, Brendan Rivers is who becomes the three-eyed raven later on. Okay? And we get to
So
how he
Quincy Grace,
becomes.
yes. She had a question. I will just answer right quick. Technically, yes, you do have to serve a knight or lord to become a knight yourself. That's usually how you. Some exceptions are made. Bad exceptions are made.
The
People
ones
that
where
really
you
shouldn't
are
be knights.
anointed with the 7
Yeah.
oils.
Yeah, but in most cases, you have to serve either a knight or a lord yourself to get a knighthood. And we can't forget this. We brought this up the last couple of weeks. This is mostly Andal tradition and only in the South. We from the North don't have knights, except for House Mormont and House Mandalay.
Okay.
But for the most part, we don't have knights.
Speaking of that, again, here we go. Here's the map of the 7 kingdoms. Okay.
Well, most of it kind of cut off the North, but we understand.
No, the
We
North
stay
is
out
to
of
the
this.
left.
Oh, yeah, I see. I see. We stay out of
I mean,
this. You know,
what do
we
you
don't.
mean? I did not cut off the North.
I see. I see. I was looking at the right one.
I know you just looking at the right, like everybody does,
right.
and you forget your own people. To the left, y'all,
we stay out of this. What you mean?
It's the Starks. You know, it's the North.
No 7 on 7. No, you fight that dude 1-on-1. We ain't doing no 7-on-7 up here. You want to fight? You fight that dude 1-on-1. Try to combat 1-on-1.
So we see on the left, we see the North. You see where Winterfell is. We see, the wall, and we see beyond the wall. Okay, I just want people to know where we're talking about. When you hit it a little bit south, you go into River Run. You see the Erie. You see how close the Erie is to River Run. Now you understand Kat's sister, why she was just across the riverside. When she married Robin Aaron. Come on now, we need to keep the map in thought when we look at Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. You see how close Casterly Rock, well, the Lannisters, Lannisters are. How the Lannisters and River Run and Erie were kind of like on the same kind of sphere. Then below that is the Reach. The Reach to Green, that's where the High Garden is. The orange is King's Landing and the King's area. I forgot. The Crown Lands. The Crown Lands.
Which doesn't count. It doesn't count as part of the 7 kingdoms per se.
No,
they don't count those. It's just Crown Lands.
Right. Because it's the seat of the king.
Yes. Yeah.
Then the Baratheons are a little south, but east of, High Garden and the Reach. And then further south is Dorne. The south, the real south, the dirty south.
It's hot down there.
Is Dorne. I wanted us to kind of have a look, and the names, y'all, on there in black. The names in black are the names of those that were on Dunk's side, but the red one, Ashford, is just the name of Lord Ashford, who was hosting this tournament. He did not know he was going to be hosting a 7-on-7. What a name day celebration. His daughter's probably like, I just wanted a little party.
Yeah, I don't think no one meant for all this to happen.
No one meant for all this. And I'm sure Dunk didn't mean for all this, because nobody meant for somebody to perish. Now, here's another map that I also did for y'all to understand, again, how Stark and everybody is to the left, everybody else is to the right. This is to show y'all with the shields and everything that people are coming from. There are subsets of these houses that have their own shield, have their own shield symbol. There's a ton of shields in Westeros. Okay.
Called vessels. They're vassals.
Vassals. There's a ton of different shields in Westeros, and even if you look at the north, all the shields don't are not cohesive. The shields are not cohesive.
They're not
Okay,
supposed to be.
I just find that if we dire wolfing, we need to all have a dire wolf of some kind or something.
Mm,
Not all of us, or at least the color, some color the same. Okay.
mm, that'd be too confusing because if your house Mormont, or or the last half of the last half the Umbers, you can't wave the same sigil as our house, the dire wolf. Like, and even when we on the battlefield, it's kind of hard to tell anybody apart. You gotta have some differentiation. Like, hey, they're the Umbers, they're the card starts over there. You know, call the Umbers over, call the Dreadfort down and get them to hold this line or something. It got to have different sigils and colors so we can tell the difference.
And just for y'all to also see, I'm going to go back to the other map. If you see how close the river run, the whole where Catelyn Stark is from, they followed the faith of the seven. The North always, they are the blood of the first men. They follow the old gods. They have the direwood trees.
Werewood.
Werewood. I wanted to say dire wolves, and it's like so that's why you always hear Catelyn Stark say we follow the old gods and the new, because she had to make sure she married into an old god territory. So she came from a house of the new gods, the seven. So again, when you're looking at Game of Thrones after like this, and we'll have the finale next week, I want you to kind of realize now what is being said in Game of Thrones that really comes from this era with Dunk and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Some people are trashing it. They're saying it's too slow. It ain't got the CGI and dragons, but it lays a great foundation on exactly what Game of Thrones and Dance of the Dragons, especially looking at where people fall in line here.
I don't know nobody's saying that because the last of this episode is going out of the highest rated episode ever shown on television.
People are watching it, Trey, but people are not enthused about it. And as you see here with the people that are watching us, some people, even the ones watching us, have said that, hey, if it wasn't for y'all putting things together, I wouldn't be watching this. So I definitely say that
to oblige.
Right. I definitely can see how people who are not, super fans like yourself or a fan like myself, I can see how they can feel lost in the sauce. And how does this connect to the rest of the world and the rest of the kingdom? I don't see it. So
it's interesting.
That's why Trey and I will be your guide. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, when it comes to television and movies, you kind of have two different sects of people. That's this is just what it is. I hate to say it like this, but you have your group that only cares about the spectacle of things.
Yes.
Purely visual, what fight is happening, let me see dragons all over the place, this and that, that's all they care about. And you got the others who actually care about what story you trying to tell us. Like, what's the plot? What's the story? I've always been a plot and story guy. I love visual. I love seeing the spectacle. Don't get me wrong, especially when you do it well. But I've always said this. You can have great visuals all you want to. It means nothing without a good script and story to push it. Because if it doesn't have a good story or script, all you're showing me is a bunch of still pictures.
Right.
That's it. It has no meaning. It means nothing. Because the first question I'm going to do is, well, why is this person going here? Why is this happening? What's going over here? It's a dragon. Okay, that's cool. But why is the dragon over there? Why is it burning this? You can't even answer me that question. Then this is not a good story. I'm going to trash it. This is dumb.
Right.
It won't last. And we notice this. Keep it real. It won't last. Like, there's certain shows that do last the test of time. The Wire. It's a greatly written show.
Hello.
It
If
is a
you
reason why it's still lasting now.
if
People are
we need to
coming to
break
it.
if we need to break down the wire, I'm here.
People are still like newer, younger people are still watching this show now. It's like, oh my God, wow, this is great because this is a good story. It is well written. People, no matter how you feel about the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, or even House of Dragons, whatever, there's still a good enough good there that I'm telling you, 20 years from now, they're still going to be talking about this.
Well, look at it. When was the first book released, Trey?
The first book, 1992.
And where are we now? 2026.
Yeah. And that's just from the books. And can you imagine my fandom when I started reading these books when I was in the 90s. When I came across it, I like the medieval stuff, whatever. And a teacher was actually, well, if you like this, well, maybe you should try reading a Game of Thrones book. I was like, what is that? She's like, where's the book? Go check it out in the library, whatever. And I used to, it was during the summer. It was after school during the summer. I had my little library card as a little kid. Go to the library. I thought the book was too thick, and the book was thick. It was like,
Yes.
I was like, well, I ain't checking this book out, but I can spend time at the library and read it, on some of my days, whatever. And I got hooked on that first story. I was like, this is amazing because I'm visualizing it as I'm reading it. And I was so happy when the show finally came and what I'm visualizing is coming true and it's what I envisioned. Oh, wow. This is great. This is amazing. But that's just about any story you might read or you come across. It can have all the visuals you want to, but they got to be good.
When were the Dune books dropped?
Oh, the first Dune novel was back in the 60s, late 50s, 60s.
So that I discovered Dune and was more immersed in Dune books than I was in Game of Thrones because I preferred the whole, witchery of it all. The science fiction.
Yeah.
Right. And the nomadic people and stuff like that. And then when I did discover Game of Thrones, I thought it was just taking off a Dune because you have the people in the sand, you have the religious people, I was like, no. So when I first encountered Game of Thrones, I thought it was just a ripoff of Dune. Sorry, y'all. That's how I visioned it when back in the 90s again. But it's later on, as you said, it wasn't library. It was a friend of mine that was like, oh, hell no, you cannot equate the futuristic with the other stuff. But again, I eventually plowed through, the books of Game of Thrones. I don't know where those initial books that I got back in late 90s, I think. I started late. For my friend group, I was a late bloomer for the Game of Thrones, but I was caught up in the Sisters of the Jesuit.
Oh yeah. I read the first Dune novel. That had to be 96, 97.
So you went Game of Thrones first and then
yeah, I came across Game of Thrones first because my teacher we was doing, it was a history teacher. We was doing like history, whatnot, and I liked the stuff because I was like recanting everything. She's like, oh, you're pretty good at recanting stuff. It's pretty good. I have an interest in it. I mean, one of my favorite movies as a kid was King Arthur, the old school King Arthur.
Yes.
That's still a class. I love still watching that thing. But the old school King Arthur, I thought the thing was just so cool with the little song in the background.
Hey, I still prefer the old Dune. I still prefer a lot of the old Dune.
I like a lot of what old Dune did over the new one. I
do like a lot of the cinematography that is done with the new Dune. Okay,
it's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. But you learn a little bit more and more detail. But again, y'all see how we have an interest in our books. We were, of course, it was harnessed by the teachers. Mine was by my friends and being rebellious. But definitely, y'all see the trajectory. I'm more the Jesuit sisters. Trey is fully decked out in his armor. Okay, in his armor.
Don't get me wrong. I'm full off House of Traders to the day I die. Okay, I don't care what they say. Paul should have did what he did and continue to do it. Sometimes you got to call to make room. Let's go.
So
I've read all the Dune novels.
Is that where we're heading? Is that where you'd like to head after this? Because episode 6, y'all, is the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next week is the end of this season. So where are we heading next? Because y'all seem to like this kind of breakdown, and I'm thinking that this is y'all, a time where y'all will force me to watch House of Asher.
It's pretty good. I'm telling you, it's not bad. I was ready to hate it too, but I gave it a chance. I was like, hey, this ain't bad.
But House of Asher is all done. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be as detailed. Y'all ain't going to see maps. I'm not going to tie it to Spartacus because I have an issue with Asher.
It's in one place, so you really got to do it.
No, you know what I'm saying? Tie it to the Spartacus series. Okay.
Sometimes, yeah, you ain't got to either. You got to do all that. This is the House of Asher. There's parallels, of course, but it's the House of Asher.
House of Ashes. Okay.
It's not bad. I said, oh, this is pretty good. Yes.
I have watched Rome. Oh, I know Rome.
I watched Rome and Last Kingdom.
This is Conclave, gentlemen. Conclave. Okay. I am the son of Hades. Y'all don't understand how much I know I love Rome. Again, y'all don't understand. Rome, HBO's Rome, HBO Rome, Wire, you could come with it. I will have to rewatch the sisters of the Jesuit sisters because I really didn't watch all of that, all of it through if we want to do that. But
we talking about the series?
Yeah.
Talking about the series? That was decent, actually.
People said it was decent, but I didn't have the time to watch it. The Last Kingdom.
We can roll through that. It was actually, I liked some things that they did. They made some changes that I was like, I don't know why you did that. But for what it was, pretty daggone good. You know what? It's one of those stories where
oh golly, no, not the Last Kingdom. No. If I'm going to do the Last Kingdom, I might as well do Vikings from the History Channel. I would do that over the Last Kingdom.
Last Kingdom was okay. It kind of fell off. It fell off after season 2.
It did.
It fell off after season 2. It was like, all right.
It was a
what are y'all doing here? They kind of lost their way a little bit. You kind of tell. They did.
I couldn't.
They're trying to drag it.
I couldn't.
It still was decent.
It's decent, but I was, as you said, I was disappointed, Jaguar. I was. I'd rather go HBO's, not HBO, the History Channel's Viking with Ragnar Lothbrok and Floki and all of them. I'm sorry. That was hard hitting. And the Sia, oh my word. See, y'all don't understand the rainbow of all that Elsid watches and all that Trey watches. So Trey, you pick it. Valhalla was trash. I agree with you. Valhalla was trash.
The Dune Prophecy it would have been a good show to review. We can still do it. It is really.
You want to do this?
Good.
So you rather do that than House of Asher?
For you, my lady, I would do Dune Prophecy rather than House of Asher.
I put Asher on my list because of y'all. So don't say that. If you want to go Asher, because Asher is good. It's relevant and good. Now. Asher is relevant. It's now. I can cover Asher, and we could do. I already saw The Last Kingdom, Jaguar.
Yeah,
I ain't like it. I seen it, and after I saw it fall off and this back and forth foolishness, I really didn't like it. At the end, it got stale. But I can watch The House of Asher, and we could cover 2 episodes at a time. It is 10. It'll give us 5 weeks. I don't know what else is coming. I know, thank you, Access Lauren, that House of the Dragon trailer is coming. That doesn't start up till what, the summertime. So it'll give us enough time to stay in this realm.
Yeah.
Okay. To watch the House of Asher. So maybe next week I'll get 2 episodes of Asher done and we could talk about it. Okay. And I'm not a stickler for spoilers. So if y'all say, oh my God, this is coming or whatever, but I'm gonna stick to 2 episodes at a time and y'all could just have, all 10 in the chamber. So that'll give us 5 weeks. Okay. Okay. So House of Asher will be next. So Game of Thrones, not Game of Thrones. Night of the Seven Kingdoms will be back next week, y'all, at 5 p.m. EST on Wednesday to cover that. Then the following week, we will start the House of Asher because, of course, that will be the end of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So we will cover the first 2 episodes of A House of Asher and keep on going from there through February and March. Trey, do you want to have any final words for the people since you were not one of the wounded knights of this battle?
I did have some grievances with this episode. Okay. Even though I loved it, I did have some grievances. When they first started, I don't understand, and this is really for the audience watching, especially the ones that didn't understand. Why did they not have Baylor explain the rules of the fight? Because he does in the book. He goes into what needs to happen, what can't happen. Basically, what we explained, the fight is over unless Sir Duncan dies or Arian dies, or Arian recounts his accusations. And then he goes into a strategy meeting when he tells them, that also explaining the rules of the fight. This is not a tourney joust. They're going to be using lances of war. Lances of war are different from tourney lances. Tourney lances are 12 feet long and usually made of some type of ash so they can break easy and have a corner on the end that is non-lethal. Lances, they were using lances in this fight. Lances are 8 feet long and made of like oak or hard ash. They're made of something harder that's harder to break and much stiffer with points on the end for piercing armor.
They kind of told us. They did tell us, but they didn't tell us as one, like how you said. They did tell us because we heard one of them say, "Hey, we're not fighting against tourney lances." When they gathered together, I think it's when they gathered together and Dunk was saying, "Thank you all for being here."
Yes.
And they're like, "Yeah, they ain't no tourney lances, for this."
Yes. But the audience didn't understand that. I could tell the audience did not understand it.
Right. You are correct.
And my issue was part of the strategy in the book, the original strategy was Prince Baylor tells them, instead of using war lances, we're going to use tourney lances. And that causes the men to go, wait, whoa, what are you talking about? They mean to kill us. And he explains to them, tourney lances are 12 feet long, 4 feet longer than war lances. So he said, if you can keep your mount and keep your aim true, we can unseat them and have the advantage throughout the fight.
Right.
So, and the reason, and it becomes important because, as I said, when I was describing the fight between Dunk and Arian, Dunk does hit Arian square on his shield. His shield was just a little weaker, and Arian was using a war lance. If Dunk was using a tourney lance, the same effect would have happened, but the main reason why he gets punches through the shield, the tourney lance is made to break.
Right.
So as it shatters, it'll hit Arian hard, but it probably won't kill him. Right. That war lance is made to go through armor and shield. So when he came through, it went straight through the shield, boop, held him in the side. Now let's talk about Dunk's armor, because I saw a lot of people dragging on his armor. It wasn't good. Dunk's armor was actually very good.
He got 3 hits to the head.
Yeah, it was very good. Now I will say because of the price what he had to pay, it wasn't complete,
Right.
so to say. What he had on was a helmet, a great helm to be exact. He had a great helm. His helmet did not have a visor that lift up. It was one solid piece, so they call that a great helm. And his helm was, you can notice, was a little bit thicker in certain places, especially around the eye slit. Was much thicker, and this is probably the thinnest part of that helm. The backside, this is the part. The backside of that helm was shaped just like this. This is shaped. This is known as a great helm too, but it's a Crusader helm with a visor that lifts up. So it's a vulnerability piece. That visor. The back of his helm was very thick, and it was actually molded to go out and then in and then out again too for deflection. For deflection. Baylor was wearing his son's armor, and they make and which they didn't say in the show either, which I wish they would have, because they go into detail, and it's kind of a clue for the reader. His armor didn't fit him well.
Right.
He tells them, he's like, I didn't, you said last week, it wasn't my intent to enter in the list, but my son was good enough to let me borrow his armor.
Yes.
Now, they visually tried to show it when he first took off his helm. He was somewhat struggling with it. Now, y'all, armor is armor. Okay? And having some armor is better than having none. Okay? But ill-fitting armor can have different effects on you. You know, depending on how you wear it. It could constrict your motion. It also, there's parts of the armor that when it's hit, it's supposed to give just a little when it takes the impact. Being that his armor, especially the helm, was so close to his, tight on his skull, when that mace hit happened, it immediately crashed into the back of his brain. Now, it did two things. It aided his death, but it also was holding the pressure, you know, to keep him alive at the same time. So it goes to the question, if you notice he said, you know, he would have the maces look at Sir Duncan after he finished looking at his brother, right? Which is a key to you. He was worried about his brother because his brother took hits out there too. He's wounded. His brother was wounded. And if the maester would have gotten over there and saw the damage to that armor, because Goodman Pate, he's an armorer. Yes, Goodman Pate, he's a good armorer, but he's not a maester. Okay?
Right. He went to pour oil on the wound.
Yeah, he knows how to build armor. He doesn't know particularly how to heal people from that's wearing armor and get injured. The Mason would have took one look at that. Don't take the helm off just yet. So there's a chance that Baylor's life could have been saved. Could have been.
That's what they say.
Yeah. But it's interesting, going back to Dunk's armor, he had a helm, he had a gorget. Under the gorget is this piece that covers the neck and the high back. That's all it's supposed to cover. There's different sizes, but Dunk had kind of a very small gorget, right, to be honest.
Yes, he did.
Because
it was mainly chainmail.
Yeah. His should have came out to at least to the shoulder and down further. But
we ain't got the materials for all that, because Dunk is a big dude.
He ain't got the money for it. He ain't got the money for it. That's the problem. Right. He ain't got the money. He only had about 600. Like, that's all he can get, That's all he can get. So
he sold a horse for it.
But what he got went bad. He got the chainmail, and chainmail is meant to prevent puncture wounds primarily. You still can get through it, but it won't go as through as you not wearing anything. Now, against a war lance though, it's going right through that chainmail. So he should have had a breastplate.
But Dunk doesn't get to say he's a champion, but he definitely is a hero.
Oh yeah.
So he doesn't get the purse. But we shall see what happens next week, because there's a speech between him and his friend Lionel that I need
Listen,
to break down.
yeah, his legend is already. Which I'm gonna tell you right now, this doesn't happen in the book, so this is going to be interesting. What happens here? And I think I know why they're doing it because they're setting up something that
Yes.
happens with House Baratheon later
Yes.
on that they may you don't explicitly get in the book, but they talked about it enough that okay, I think they're gonna actually go into it and show it.
Yes.
So it should be interesting. And they're
Yes.
setting it up
Very.
here.
Yeah,
They're
they are for
setting it
the
up here.
with the previews. But y'all, thank y'all
Mhm.
so much for sticking with us. We, we will cover this. We can go on and on and on. This is the field that we enjoy immensely. Okay. But yes, we will be here next week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. EST. And for those of you members, don't forget, members, we are watching The Beauty tomorrow night together. I'll put another poster up. And Friday we have our unscripted, and we are watching RuPaul's Drag Race together. And y'all just look at my schedule. I have all my lives up early, and I appreciate all of you. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.